Hi everyone, this is Nilanjana ma'am, and I welcome you all to my class. That is the unique English class with Nilanjana ma'am. So I am Nilanjana. Yeah. Yes, friends, I'd like to ask you a question. So, have you planted a sapling in your garden? Yes, with your own hands, or maybe in your pot, in your green balcony, in your green corner. Yes, in your balcony. Yes, you must have. So now, do you have anything special? Do you have a special bonding with that particular plant? Or do you love that plant more than the other plants in your garden or than the other potted plants? Think about it. So I've chosen this story called The Cherry Tree, written by Ruskin Bond, very famous writer. Yes, he is an Anglo-Indian writer. He was born in Kasoli in the Himachal. Right now he lives in Mussoorie. So Dehra and Mussoorie and Kasol, so these are the places actually, he grew up in, and he just is totally in love with the mountains and with these places. And most of the characters, of his novels or short stories are set or based, or the stories are set in these settings, in these places actually. Let us go ahead. And the story is called The Cherry Tree, written by Ruskin Bond. Now, here we have a character. The main character is a small boy. He's a 6-year-old boy called Rakesh. And he lives in the Himalayan foothills, in Mussoorie, with his grandfather. And his grandfather is he's an old man right now. He's a retired forest ranger. The story begins with Rakesh, like he's walking back home after the school is over. So he has bought a bunch of bright red cherries, and he's like enjoying the cherries. He's like eating them one after the other. He had bought them for 50 paise, and he was like eating them, and yes, he was like walking through the valley, and he was coming back home. Now they lived in the outskirts of Missouri. Outskirts meaning they lived quite outside the town. Yes, and they lived in a beautiful cottage, and it had a beautiful sprawling garden. So he came back home. By the time he reached home, by the time he reached his cottage, he had only 3 cherries left with him. So he saw Dadaji, his grandfather, and he asked him, Dada, do you want to have one? So his Dadaji took one, and and he promptly quickly ate the other two, the left, so that his Dadaji doesn't ask for more. He's a small boy. He loved the tangy flavor, so he just had the cherries. Now he was when the last seed was in his mouth, and he was rolling it round and round for some time with his tongue, and then finally he took it out, and he placed that cherry seed on his palm. And then a thought came to his mind. He asked his Dadaji, well, Dada, do you think, these cherry seeds are lucky, or are cherry seeds lucky? So his Dadaji said, yes, of course. And then Rakesh announces, okay, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this cherry seed somewhere in my box or something, so that it brings me good luck. And then his grandfather tells him, grandfathers are wise men, definitely. And he told him, well, if you put something to if you put away something, if you just put aside or just keep aside something, thinking that it might bring luck, that doesn't happen. So what you have to do is you have to put it to some use it. So, and then Rakesh asked, well, what can I do with a cherry seed? So his Dadaji said, why? You have a garden, just go ahead and plant it. And Rakesh realized, well, that's right, Dadaji, I'll do it. So he ran inside the home, and he just came out with a small spade and the can of water. And he took the seed, and he was just going to plant it. So his Dadaji advised him, do one thing, boy, you go to the shady corner. Just go to the shady corner of the garden, so that the plant can, it can come up very comfortably, and so that nobody disturbs the plant. So the boy agrees, and he goes to the most fertile part, that shady part, yes, of the garden, and the soil was so soft and yielding that he didn't even have to dig the soil. Just using his thumb, he just pressed the seed inside the soil, and it was so soft. The seed went just right inside, and then he just sprinkled some pebbles yes, around it, and he put some water, and that's all. Then he had his lunch, and in the evening he went off to play with his friends. He went off to play cricket with his friends, and completely forgot about that plant. Yeah, and then it was winter in the hills, and cold wind was blowing from the north and from the snow-topped mountains, and all it was very chilly. And so in the evenings, Rakesh and grandfather would sit in the garden, and they would light up a charcoal fire, and it was very cozy and comfortable. And grandfather would tell Rakesh wonderful stories about these giants, or how men were transformed to animals by some curse of some evil witch or something. So he loved all these these fun these demon stories or the witch stories and all. So he loved all these supernatural stories, Rakesh. And so there was some kind of a deal between grandfather and Rakesh, and the deal was grandfather would tell all these lovely stories to Rakesh, and in return Rakesh had to read out the newspaper for him, because grandfather was losing his eyesight. His eyesight was becoming quite weak. So that was the deal between the two. So Rakesh had to keep his promise. So after these, after listening to all these stories, he would read out the newspaper, though that was a very dull job for him, because after listening to those wonderful stories, the articles and reports in the newspaper were too dull for Rakesh. But still, a deal is a deal, and he had to read them out for his grandfather, because grandfather just, he needed the news very badly. And then after winter came spring. And yes, so they knew that it was springtime by looking at these wild ducks flying in the sky. So these wild ducks are actually these migratory birds, and they were flying back to, they were flying in the northern direction to Siberia. Yes. And then one morning in the garden, when Rakesh was taking a walk, taking a stroll in the garden, so he found something lying on the ground, and he just bent to pick it up, thinking that it was a branch or a twig or something. But when he when he tried to pick it up, he saw that it was well rooted. It was quite deeply rooted in the soil. So he stared at it for a moment, and within a second he understood that it was his own planted, that cherry plant, the cherry tree. So he ran inside in excitement to bring his grandfather. He said, "Dadaji, just come out and see. The cherry tree has come up." So what cherry tree? So even grandfather had forgotten about it. So the seed was planted last year, so they completely forgot. And look, it's come up. So Rakesh went down on his knees, and he was looking at that small, that plantling and all. And it was about 4 inches high. So they were very happy with it. Yes, it's a cherry tree, and you should water it now and then, grandfather told him. So Rakesh just ran inside in excitement, and he brought that can of water, and he was sprinkling water, on the plant. And grandfather advised him, "Well, come on, young boy, don't drown it by pouring all the water of your can. Just give it a sprinkling." So Rakesh did that, and he from then on he was taking care of his cherry plant very very passionately and very sincerely. So again, after spring, and summer and all, the monsoons came, and not summer, yes, when the monsoons came early that year. So Rakesh went to school with his raincoat and with his gumboots and all that. And every afternoon when he came back to his home, he went to the garden, and there were other trees and plants, there were these ferns which sprang up from the trunks of the trees. There were lilies that came up in the long grass. But still, his total attention was towards his own cherry tree. There was a sense of belonging with that So, but unluckily, what happened? A goat had entered the garden and it ate all the leaves of that cherry plant, and only the main stem and two thin branches remained. So, Rakesh was heartbroken and he went and called his grandfather. But grandfather told him, well, don't worry, the plant is going to survive. And, these cherry trees are quite tough. They're quite, they can withstand all these tortures and all. So just wait, just give it some time and new leaves will, spring up very soon. And yes, towards the end of the rainy season, new leaves appeared on the tree. And then again, there was the second accident, the second torture, I should say, on that cherry plant. So a stupid grass cutter, the women they have come to cut grass in the garden. So she was a bit foolish because, or maybe she was not aware, or she did not take care of that plant, and she cut the cherry tree in two halves. And then Rakesh was totally devastated. And when Dadaji saw what had happened, he went after the woman, he scolded her, but then the damage could not be repaired. So now Rakesh said, Dadaji, I think the cherry tree is going to die now. And grandfather also was quite, even he was quite, worried about it. And he said, well, maybe, but let's see what happens. But the cherry tree had no intention of dying. It was quite a tough cherry tree. And by the time summer came again, it had sent out several new shoots and branches and leaves, tender green leaves were coming up. So Rakesh had grown taller too. So Rakesh was growing taller, and so was his cherry tree. So he was an 8-year strong boy now with curly black hair and deep black eyes. So his grandfather called him Blackberry Eyes. And then that monsoon, in that rainy season, Rakesh went home to his parents, where his mother and father lived, to help them with cultivation work, with the plowing and sowing and all that. So, and then when he returned, he was quite thin because he had worked hard maybe. He was thinner, but he was stronger when he came back to grandfather's home at the end of the monsoon. And he found that the cherry tree had also grown up. The cherry tree had grown another foot. So they were really very happy. And even then, even when there was no rainfall, Rakesh would go and give that cherry tree a sprinkling of water, because he wanted to make it feel that he was there. He was always there for the tree, like a parent, like a very responsible father or a mother to that cherry tree. And again, one day, a bright green praying mantis, a grasshopper-like insect, perched on the branch, and it was looking at Rakesh with its bulging eyes. And Rakesh was quite cool. He said, okay, you be there unless you're not disturbing my cherry tree, unless you're not eating up the leaves of my cherry tree, then be there. So Rakesh let it remain there because it was the cherry tree's first visitor. The second visitor was a hairy caterpillar, but the caterpillar was quite harmful for the cherry tree because it was making a meal. It was eating the leaves away, and Rakesh removed it quickly with the twig and dropped it on a heap of dry leaves on the garden floor. And he said to that caterpillar, "Come back when you're a butterfly." So yes, when you're a butterfly, you can come back and sit on my tree and you can have nectar from the flowers, but please don't eat my leaves away. So winter came early that year, and grandfather was becoming quite grumpy. Grumpy means he was becoming quite unhappy and sad because the newspapers were not coming. It was so cold that so the newspapers were not coming were not coming regularly. They were not being dropped regularly at their home. So now his stories, the stories that he used to tell Rakesh, also began to have these sad endings. No more happy endings because he was not in a happy state of mind. So in February, it was Rakesh's birthday. He was 9-year-old now, and the tree was 2. The tree was 2-year-old and he was 9. but the tree was almost as tall as Rakesh was. So one morning when the sun came out, grandfather was into the garden. I mean, was taking a walk in the garden, and grandfather was like it was winter, and he said like, let some warmth get into my bones. He was like sunbasking, and he stopped in front of the cherry tree, and he found something very wonderful. When he looked at when he stared at it for a few moments, he called out, Rakesh, come and look before it falls down. Yes, come and look quickly before it falls down. And Rakesh and grandfather gazed at the tree as if there was something like magical, as if they had seen a miracle. So there was a pale pink blossom at the end of a branch. So the flowering has started, and you know how the cherry blossoms look. They look so beautiful. And the following year there were more blossoms, and suddenly the tree was taller than Rakesh, and it was taller than grandfather too, who was older than some of the oak trees in the garden. So, yeah, I mean, they were completely overjoyed looking at, the cherry tree, the growth of this plant. So, yes, now Rakesh had grown too. He could run and jump and climb trees, as well as read a lot of books, and he still liked listening to grandfather's stories. So that bonding it's really very, very special. We all know that the bonding we share with our grandparents. And if you like the story, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Yeah. Now, yes, now bees were the new visitors. The bees came to feed on the nectar in the blossoms of the cherry tree, and tiny birds perched at the blossoms. So it was really very, 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 very like an amazing sight. And the tree kept blossoming right through the spring, and there were more blossoms than birds. And then in summer also there were small cherries on the tree. Rakesh tasted one and spat it out. Oh, it's too sour. I mean, it was very tangy taste. And they'll be better next year. Wait for next year. The taste will be better. Let the fruits like ripen up, and then you can find the nice sweet taste, said grandfather. The birds liked them, so the bees were coming, and then the bulbuls and the scarlet minivets. Lots of bird visitors were there for the cherry tree, and like everyone loved it, and they were feasting on the cherries too. And then, yes, on a warm, sunny afternoon when even the bees looked sleepy, Rakesh was looking for grandfather and couldn't find him like anywhere. So and then finally he saw that grandfather was taking rest on his chair under the cherry tree. And yeah, I mean, he went out and asked Grandfather, Dadaji, why are you here? And Dadaji said, well, this is the right amount of shade here under this cherry tree, and I like looking at the leaves. They're pretty leaves, said Rakesh, and they are always ready to dance if there's a breeze. So it was a wonderful experience that, these blossoms and then the leaves dancing in the breeze. It was just completely divine, and just absolutely beautiful. And then Rakesh told something very, very special to his grandfather, and he said, Dada, there are so many trees in this forest, in our garden. What's so special about this tree? Why do we like it so much? And then grandfather said, we planted it ourselves. That's why it's special. Just one small seed, said Rakesh, and he touched the smooth bark of the tree that had grown up. He ran his hand along the trunk of the tree, and he put his finger on the tip of a leaf. And he said, he was saying something to himself, and he whispered, I wonder, is this what it feels to be God? So, Rakesh, out of his innocence, asked this question. It's a heavyweight question, but it came out of his innocence. And he wants to say, well, God is the creator. Yes, God created this universe, and God must have been very happy and very delighted with the work that he had done of creating such a vast universe and the planets and so many beings, so many organisms. We don't, yeah, of course, it's a complete mystery. So here Rakesh feels at one with that, that process of creation, because it is he who had planted the tree with his own hands, and he had taken care of it, he had nurtured it, he had loved it so much, and he had helped it to, to grow up and blossom, just like all parents take care of their children. So he felt that, is this what it feels to be God, to be, to be satisfied, to be so much contented with your own creation? That was his question. So yes, one homework. Please leave your comments. Do you feel the same kind of love and affection for your plants in your garden or in your pot? Yes or no? Please leave your comments. And if you like the story, do hit the like button, to keep me motivated. And if you want, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Take care of your plants. Plant saplings in your garden, in your pots, wherever possible. If you have a bit of ground anywhere, if you have soil, or if you have pots in your balcony, just plant, because plants, they spread beauty and fragrance, and they just, give us a lot of pleasure. Bye and take care.